Welcome back to the Playing with Power podcast, where we talk about EDH, CEDH, and all things Magic. I'm your host, DefCat, and I am joined today by my co-host, Hire.
Hi guys, Hire here. We are working on some really cool Precons from Edge of Eternities, the newest set from Wizards of the Coast. I am so excited to upgrade and brew. Actually, on this specific episode, DefCat, my boy DefCat over here, cooked something special. I'm so excited to show you guys today.
We were given an incredible task to bring the two Edge of Eternities Precons up to bracket 4 and one up to bracket 5, and boy did we meet that challenge. We were cooking in the group chat. You know how many random thoughts would happen, and we'd all gasp. Someone throws in, like, have you thought about putting it in Storm Kiln? So much fun. So many things flying around, but we did not expect how much fun this project would be. But as always, thank you so much to Wizards of the Coast to supplying these things for us and giving us the opportunity to do this for you guys. We'd also love to thank everyone over at Patreon that makes this possible. It's wonderful to have so many people so invested in this channel. And Dragon Shield. You guys have the best products on the market that keep our cards safe. I would never want to bring these cards we're about to talk about out without a Dragon Shield product covering them. So thank you so much to Dragon Shield for also sponsoring this show. So before we get started, I wanted to ask you a question, Hire. Obviously, Edge of Eternity's pre-release is out. We have cards in hand, and I want to know, what card did you actually put in a deck? What stuck?
Since our conversation, the only card that I've had on my mind is the Endstone. The Endstone is just so good in Heliod. It's so good in Heliod. It is. Yeah,
Heliod loves that card. It's so sick.
Oh my gosh, yes. Like it's one of those cards that at first when you look at it, it's so like heavy and it does stuff. And for those of you who don't remember this from our last podcast, the Endstone is a 7-mana legendary artifact that says whenever you play a land or cast a spell, draw a card, and at the beginning of your end step, your life total becomes half your starting life total rounded up. So really, 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 really good in decks that can say things like your spells cost less, maybe a lot less, like Heliod, the Warped Eclipse, which is the backside of Heliod, the Radiant Dawn. And when you flip that Heliod, it says you may cast spells as though they had flash, and your spells cost 1 less for each card your opponents have drawn this turn.
Yeah.
So the main line here. Yeah, you flip Heliod, you play a wheel, you get your Endstone, and everything's free now. It's just it's so good. It's so good in Heliod. So yeah, that's the card for sure, 100%. How about you, man?
No, I completely agree with that. I think a lot of the Edge Eternities cards ended up being cracked in specific decks, which is exactly the type of upgrades I love. I love it when only specific decks get upgrades. I hate when the whole meta gets one ring. I don't like that.
Yeah, the whole meta got one ring. Now it's everywhere.
Yeah. I didn't like that. My favorite one so far that ended up going in was Starfield Vocalist. I ended up adding Starfield Vocalist, which is 3 colors and a blue, creature human bard. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So it's warp, 1 colorless and a blue, so you can play it for 2 mana. And any of my decks that were running so many wizards in them, my Krark decks, my VV deck, even a Nala, ended up receiving this card, and it did work. I love it. So often there's so many times where I'm entering in an extra copy due to a Nala, and then we've got extra wizard triggers, and that doubles it. Obviously, it doesn't double a Nala because they're in the command zone, but it does double what's already on the field that's already cracking off and going crazy. Is so cool. So that's been an awesome addition so far from Edge of Eternities, but all in all, I'm just so happy all of these slot into specific archetypes. My favorite.
Specific. Yeah, for sure. Yes. Yeah, really excited.
We have 2 decks Edge of Eternities gave to us. Edge of Eternities gave us 2 Precons, which I think some of us were expecting, the normal round of 4. And we received the World Shaper and Counterintelligence. Counterintelligence Precon is America colors, blue, red, white, and it is all about artifacts and robots and proliferating, which was a very interesting choice. I was not expecting proliferation to make a comeback in Edge of Eternities, but it did. And to piggyback that, we got World Shaper, which is black, red, green, which, man, one of my favorite jam color combos outside of CDH. And we decided World Shaper would be best for our bracket 4 list. And we decided that Counterintelligence would be best for our bracket 5 list. Our reasoning being blue, red, white has some of the best new card quality due to gifts ungiven and allowing really great breach lines. The deck can also support a numerous amount of combos in the command zone, which we'll get to later. Whereas World Shaper, being black, red, green, had a lot more potential for a very fun, a little bit more messy style bracket 4 list. So we're going to start us off with Counterintelligence. Our commander is Kylo Apagi Mind, blue, red, white, legendary artifact creature, robot artificer. He has haste, and whenever Kylo becomes tapped, proliferate. That means choose any number of permanents or players, and then give them an additional counter of each that are already there. It is a 3/3, and already, I hope you're seeing what happens here. Relic of Legends on anything that allows you to tap your commander goes bonkers here.
Yeah, this is a awesome commander for these colors. Jeskai, I am like,
Yeah.
I'm really excited because we can search for artifacts super easy. Like they're all of the cards that say search for target artifact are in these colors.
Yes.
As well as like enchantments that you can search for. It's just yeah, this is
Yep.
great. I'm loving what this does.
And then, just like we were talking about earlier, what card absolutely stormed into the meta that every deck plays that loves having counters on it? That's right, baby. The One Ring.
Boom.
This deck, in all honesty, gets to play Turbo One Ring. You want to run this card out as fast as humanly possible or robot possible. And the One Ring reads that whenever you tap it, for each burden counter on it, draw that many cards. Notice we said the word counter. That means our commander consistently adds additional burden counters onto the One Ring in order for you to draw more cards. And so, to double up on this effect, we have tons of ways in this deck in order to gain extra proliferate by tapping our commander with Relic of Legends, but also things like Voltaic Key, which Voltaic Key reads for one colorless, tap, untap target artifact. But due to the fact that One Ring, as well as our commander, are artifacts, we're going to be able to do this in a myriad of ways that affects the deck, multiple different angles, and often, instead of just untapping and tapping the One Ring with the Voltaic Key in order to draw more cards, sometimes we actually want to proliferate multiple things in the deck, and it's better to do that with our commander.
Okay, what did you cook, man? Let's see. Let's look at this list. I'm really excited to see because I have ideas, and I want to see if any of these ideas made it into the list.
Originally, we saw Kylo hit the scene. YouTubers, content creators, y'all were making some of the fanciest fun. Oh, let's make infinite proliferation loops. It's cool. It's in the deck. We're running it. Don't get me wrong. But y'all are boilerplating this. You are burying the lead. The value of proliferation Turbo One Ring is insane. You are like in the best colors to tutor it up. It's so easy to mull for it. And on top of all this, while we are doing this, we get to run Secret Urza. This deck just gets to tap our own commander for mana and then proliferate things like Runaway Steamkin to keep making you more mana. And that was a higher include. I didn't see that till last minute. You want to talk about how cracked that is?
Yeah. Runaway Steamkin here just seems so free. It's so free. Every time you tap, you're proliferating, and there's so many ways to tap your commander. Like Relic of Legends is crazy. I love. There's so many cards here that I really love, but I think Runaway Steamkin just does the thing. And it's
I bet a lot of people listening, if you're not watching, you might not know this card. Runaway Steamkin reads for one red, or for one colorless and one red, you get a creature elemental 1/1. Whenever you cast a red spell, if Runaway Steamkin has fewer than 3 +1/+1 counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Remove 3 of them, and get 3 red.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's cool about that is that the play pattern here is you can cast Runaway Steamkin first, cast your commander. It's a red spell, gets a +1/+1 counter, and then you're just off to the races. And then Kylo has haste, so you can just attack, put another +1/+1 counter, cast a gamble, get another +1/+1 counter, and all of a sudden you have 3 red. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. And that's what I think a lot of people missed initially about the card is that Kylo having haste means it gets to tap via swinging really quickly, which is a really big part of it. And obviously right now, what's really important in the meta to be able to jam, to be able to win, you got to have silence effects most of the time. That's where we're running into more and more. And so this being in the colors, you get to have Voice of Victory, 1 in a white, a 1/3. Your opponents can't cast spells on your turn, or our tried and true favorite, the one we all know, we get to run our Big Daddy Grand Abolisher, white for a 2/2 human cleric. During your turn, opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. This just makes your deck so safe.
100%. Can we talk about some notable inclusions that you have here, please?
Yes.
Can we talk about specifically the notable inclusion of Freed from the Real and Penman's Aura?
Absolutely. Let's get into what made this deck initially catch the eye of the community. So, Aura of Dominion, Freed from the Real, Penman's Aura are all a portion of a combo. So we're going to read Freed from the Real because it has the same effect as all 3 of these cards. Freed from the Real says 2 colorless and a blue, enchant creature. For a blue, you can tap an enchanted creature, tap the enchanted creature, or blue, untap the enchanted creature. If you have anything that allows you to tap your commander for mana, i.e. Urza, Relic of Legends, or any way to also loop it with something like a Springleaf if you have untap for that, you now have infinite proliferation. Meaning, with Steam Kiln, like we just talked about, you have unlimited mana. Or the giant payoff in the deck, not just Urza being one where you can infinitely spin Urza, we're going Ballista.
I really like Ballista in this deck. The fact that you can just cast Ballista for 2, and then from that point on, you just can keep proliferating, and every time you proliferate, it's like, oh, hey, what is that, a Bowmaster? Nah, bye. Like,
yes, you got it. Exactly where we were going with this. Ballista is effectively a more proactive agent, Bowmaster, where often Bowmaster is more of a political tool half the time on when draws happen versus Walking Ballista, you're going to kill things on demand as needed.
The play line is so cool because what's Kylo's power toughness is a 3/3. So the play line, you can cast Polywog Prodigy, cast Kylo, and then proliferate. Dude.
So Polywog Prodigy reads for a 1 colorless and a blue creature frog wizard. You get a 1/3 evolve. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell with mana value less than Polywog Prodigy's power, draw a card. But due to the fact that we have something bigger in the command zone than Polywog, we can cast it, evolve it, gaining it a +1/+1 counter, attack in with haste with our commander, then give him 2. Now he's a 3/5.
Chunky boy. Yeah, it's so good. I'm so in love with this.
Any non-creature spell cast that's 3 CMC or less, less, so 2 or less, you draw.
You draw a card. And that's like all of CEDH. What's crazy is that that's not the end of it, right? You can, every time you tap it, you can just make them bigger and bigger. Like, this is silly.
I can't wait to get this thing up to like a 2020, and then someone casts like Dragonstorm and VV, and I still get to go, I draw.
I'm still doing the thing. Thanks.
Yep.
Question for you.
Yes.
Oh, omnipotent brewer. I see you running, like, we're running Teferi, right? Teferi Time Raveler.
Correct.
Was there thoughts of running other planeswalkers, like Tezzeret maybe?
Yes. So the reason I did not include the Planeswalker package within this deck is I believe in order for a Planeswalker package to be good, you most likely want to run out specific combo lines. And so that's where the testing grounds gets muddy, because
Mm-hmm.
our commander wants to swing, it wants to attack. That way we can proliferate. That means the rest of our cast in the creature section normally needs to be what defends our, tailored expertise planeswalkers that we're hoping to ultimate. The only issue we run into right now is Bowmasters pinging your Teferi and other, command or other planeswalkers, but also it's one of these very not like, just, I'm gonna call it uncomfy for a second,
Mm-hmm.
feelings of your win attempt being on board unprotected by a removal spell while you attempt to proliferate it up to ultimate. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It's just not a way I like to play my decks. As someone who played Yisan for ages and had to sit all my winning pieces on the board for a turn cycle or two before I win, it was just unfun to watch it constantly get removed, and that play pattern became irritating. But is it a strong archetype that someone with a higher constitution than I am can run? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. What about Teferi, Master of Time?
Teferi Master of Time. Let's look Teferi
Yeah.
Master of Time up.
Yeah, Teferi Master of Time is a planeswalker. You may activate loyalty abilities of Teferi Master of Time on any player's turn at any time you could cast an instant. Its +1 is draw a card, then discard a card. Its -3 is target creature you don't control phases out. And its -10 is take 2 extra turns after this one.
So that just got added to the deck.
Right? That's right.
Yeah, I think I'm taking out Idyllic Tutor. This was cool when we were talking about what we did earlier. Idyllic Tutor, 2 colors and a white. Search your library for an enchantment card, reveal it, put it in your hand. I'm good. We're gonna double Two-Berry. We're gonna double Two-Berry.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This Teferi, because like this just wins, right? If you have if you are doing the infinite proliferate thing, like this just wins.
Yeah.
And
Infinite
when I when I thought of this, I was like, this card doesn't see CEDH very much these days. I've been in my what cards haven't seen CEDH in a long time bag ever since I opened Invasion of Ikoria. And I opened up a Lord Drakus, which had old Dockside tech, and that was anyways. But Teferi Master of Time seems like it could be okay. It could be okay. I don't know if it's good, but it could definitely be okay.
I mean,
for sure.
back then, I mean, Niv Mizzet ran this card for a while. There was a time period where this was played when we were in the combo only meta, and you wanted a way to dig, and looting every turn, kind of good.
Turns out, yeah. Man, this card brings me back, man. Yeah. So I think, like
that
with what
hard.
Kylo, with Kylo wants to do, the fact that you get there pretty fast. So you play, the play pattern here is if you cast, it doesn't really matter which way you cast Kylo, but if you have Kylo on the battlefield, you cast Teferi, you plus Teferi, get it to 4, you attack with Kylo, get it to 5. Now Kylo's pretty hard to get rid of. And if it remains untouched by the time it gets back to your turn, it's 6, 7, 8. So it goes on your turn. It has 8 already. So so you can plus it. Yeah, this is really good.
We're adding Ral. Ral Monsoon Mage, 1 colorless and a red. You get a 1/3 human wizard legendary creature. Instant and sorceries you cast cost 1 less to cast. But whenever you cast an instant or a sorcery during your turn, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, Ral Moonsage deals 1 damage to you. If you win the flip, you may exile Ral. If you do, return him to the battlefield under his owner's control, flipped, and he turns into Ral, Leyline Prodigy. Ral, Leyline Prodigy, enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counters on him for each instant and sorcery you've cast this turn. And the big thing we're looking at on this backside of this Planeswalker is the -8. Exile the top 8 cards of your library. You may cast instant or sorceries from among them this turn without paying their mana cost. And in general, we do not care about storming with this card. We're happy with it flipping even on the first spell. Yeah. Now every turn we can just keep plussing it up to give us the cost reduction.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that. the idea that you have a flip. So let's say you have 3 spells that you're going to cast, and on the third spell you flip. He's at he starts off at 5, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then from there you can just plus him.
Yep.
Your instant sorcery spells cost less from that point on.
Yep.
Attack with Kylo. Go to your next turn. Attack with Kylo alt.
Yep. Yep. Single turn cycle with 3
Yeah.
instant or sorceries. And
Yeah.
let's just say this deck, if it does not win with the top 8 cards being free, it's probably a bad deck. And I'm going to say this one's a pretty good deck.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like what this does. I really like the play patterns here because Kylo having haste is so needed. It's so needed to make this deck work. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. There's a card in here that I didn't notice initially, but I'm really excited that it is, and it's Prologue to Phyresis.
Yes, that's where we were going next. Prologue to Phyresis. 1 colorless blue. Instant. Each opponent gets a poison counter. Draw a card. You are officially playing old school Atraxa. We are sitting at the table. It's 2016, and your friends all gave you a poison counter, and you're realizing that their commander is proliferating every turn, and you're dying to infect. Poison kills you in 10. So 10 poison counters will kill you. Every opponent gains this poison counter, and then your commander consistently adds poison counters to them until they die at 10.
My gosh. Yeah. Yeah. And it just does the thing with Pemin's aura. It just.
Yep.
Oh man. Freed from the Real here is actually cracked because
yep.
The fact that you can untap or tap, the tapping part is really, really good. So yeah, I think
I am so silly. Why are we not on Mantle?
Umbral Mantle?
We play it in Roxai.
No.
0 mana.
Oh, Paradise Mantle.
Paradise Mantle wins with Freed on it.
Yeah.
Let's get that out here real quick. Paradise Mantle, 0 colorless artifact. Equipped your creature has tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Kylo already has haste. This is already amazing for the deck. And now, I think that, in conjunction with Freed from the Real, if you already have the poison counters, just wins.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think this is an important aspect of brewing is that, like, you'll get a list together and you'll be like, okay, here's my baseline. I think this can play into a pod. And then you'll talk about it, and all of a sudden, hey, there are some options that we could add that could be awesome. Like, this, and I love this. I love what this deck is already doing. I'm excited about this, man. I think this deck has legs for sure. Yeah. And this is like solid CEDH.
Yes. Yeah. And what's cool too, I love Turbo One Ring. I think that's just an awesome play pattern that is very achievable in most games. And then there's so many other things within the deck you just get extra sauce from. Everflowing Chalice now gets to get extra counters every single turn because proliferates everything. It's not like we're adding counters to just one thing you want to. Let's say you have Everflowing Chalice. You got the One Ring. You've got a different one of the Biovisionaries, anything that gives counters. This allows you to constantly add value to your entire board.
So there are cards that care about counters on them.
Yeah.
Like Smokestack, which is a 4-mana artifact that says at the beginning of your upkeep, put a soot counter on this artifact. For each soot counter, sacrifice a permanent.
I'll pull it up here for us.
Yeah, so Smokestack, this card is where the term stacks comes from. And there are cards like Smokestack that you could play that just get worse every time. The card I'm specifically thinking about is a 3-mana artifact that taps down permanents equal to the number of counters it has on it.
Okay, we're gonna take a story break on that. You are specifically talking about Tanglewire.
Yeah.
We're about to have a little story time. I went to a tournament this weekend, a 10K down in Atlanta. I was playing Rog Sai, and I decided that it would be smart to add Nas on someone else's end step. Went very well for me. I didn't want someone else to have another turn, so I casted Final Fortune. That way I'd go to my turn. The Urza's Battlethopter player flashed in a Tangle Wire on my Final Fortune turn and tapped all of my lands down with this. I wasn't mad. That was baller. That was a baller play. Very funny.
That'll stop a Final Fortune turn in its tracks.
So, Tangle Wire, 3 colorless artifact, has Fading 4. This artifact enters the battlefield with 4 fading counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove fade counters from it. If you can't, sacrifice it. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player taps an untapped artifact, creature, or land he or she controls each fading counter on Tangle Wire. I don't like this play pattern in this deck, but I can't say it's wrong.
Yeah, I think this can do a thing. I don't know if it's doing a good thing, but it definitely gives an alternative like deck completely. Like we're talking Jeskai Prison that utilizes these kind of things to really boost what the deck wants to do. I don't know how you benefit the most with Kylo, but I think that you could do something like this. In addition, you could negatively affect your opponents by putting extra counters on their Mystic Remoras, right? These are things that we can do to try to effectively get rid of some of these cards. I really like that. I think this is really, really cool. You could, if you, let's say an opponent had a One Ring, and it had a counter on it.
Yep.
Let's say you figured out a way to make infinite counters or infinite like proliferate. You could infinitely proliferate their thing so in their upkeep could just die. Like sure. Like,
that would be a way around One Ring. Oh, actually, that's insanely relevant. One Ring doesn't. Wow, that's hilarious. So often when you're playing CDH, you are unable to beat someone due to them having One Ring protection. No more. They die on upkeep trigger to the One Ring having infinite counters.
Mm-hmm. And they can't even activate it because they'll draw they'll die to drawing all the cards.
Yeah, because they'll draw over 1,000. Yeah, that's just it.
Yeah.
It's
Fun
not
times.
Individual draws. Well, this deck is very fun, very interesting, and worth being brewed over. We will be leaving our ideas list in the description for anyone who wants to come cook. This deck list will not resemble a completed deck. It'll be a little bit over the 100 card minimum as we continue to add other cards and thoughts that we had to it, but it is a great space to start brewing. Next, we are going to be talking about a deck that I lovingly call Mulch Farm, and it is headed by Cesarl, Genesis Shepherd, 2 colorless, black, red, green, legendary creature, insect druid, 2/5. He has flying and says you may play lands from your graveyard. Whenever you sacrifice another non-token permanent during your turn, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to Cesaral's power on up to one other target creature. And I don't know if you've ever played a Jund list, but this is a Jund list I got brewing here. We've got Protean Hulk. We've got Gitrog. We've got the whole Yawgmoth package. Let's get into this deck.
This is madness. This is everything I want from these colors.
Yes.
People may not know that land strategies and like Protean Hulk stuff is among one of my favorite things in CDH. So the fact that you're doing all of these things in this deck is just yes.
Well, sweet. Pop off. Give me a card you want to chat about then. If this is your jam, I'd love to hear you go off.
Okay. All right. Well, first, okay, the cards that I'm going to talk about are going to be the cards that are not seen in a lot of decks, specifically Underrealm Lich.
Yes.
This zombie elf shaman for 5. If you would draw a card, instead look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put one of them into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. Pay for a life, it becomes indestructible until end of turn, and you tap it. There is a line with this card that you run with Sylvan Library. Really cool little line here. You can look at the top 9 cards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, really, really good. Anyways, so I love this. I love what this deck is doing. In this deck, I like that you are taking the card draw, you're throwing things into the graveyard, which is exactly what you want to be doing here. And you get to just like win with Protean Hulk. And okay, let's go back. You said what card is standing out. I'm gonna just go with what's at the top of the list is Protean Hulk. Protean Hulk is is the card I want to talk about. Yeah, because tell me about this package. What are we doing with this Protean Hulk?
So we have 2 different packages that I decided needed to work independently of Protean Hulk, which is responsible deck building, boys and girls. The largest portion of what a Protean Hulk line makes up is the value of creatures you get from Protean Hulk, because Protean Hulk reads 5 colorless, green, get a creature beast 6/6. When Protean Hulk dies, search your library for any number of creature cards with total converted mana cost 6 or less and put them onto the battlefield and shuffle. So the first thing to beat a responsible Protean Hulk deck is you must be playing Carrion Feeder, which says Carrion Feeder is a 1 black, 1/1. Carrion Feeder can't block. Sacrifice a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on Carrion Feeder. That means we responsibly have a way to sacrifice our Protean Hulk to get it to activate, as well as Viserys here. 1 black, 1/1. Sacrifice a creature, scry 1. Other than that, we have multiple other cards within this list that also say sacrifice another creature. Additionally, to other amazing things that they do to allow us to activate our Protean Hulk. But the number 1 card to make all this work, and how I stitched the Protean Hulk lines together to be not messy and make the whole deck feel a little bit more cohesive, was Body Snatcher. For 2 colorless, black, you get a 2/2 Phyrexian minion. When Body Snatcher enters the battlefield, exile it unless you discard a creature card. When Body Snatcher dies, exile it and return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Body Snatcher is a way to make Protean Hulk lines foolproof. It means that you go get Body Snatcher and Carrion Feeder or any other sacrifice, and it allows you to instantly go get back your Protean Hulk, replay it, sack it, retrigger it, and easily go get any line that you don't have in your hand, because oftentimes you may accidentally draw a piece of your line. Instead of having one specific line in the deck for Protean Hulk that you could accidentally draw, I've included, I think it's like 7 different variations of the line within the list. The number 1 and the easiest one to stitch together is Machias the Unhallowed, which is 3 colorless black. Get a 5/5 zombie cleric. Intimidate. Whenever a human deals damage to you, destroy it. And other non-human creatures, you get +1/+1 and have Undying. And that instantly combos with the Walking Ballista. As now that you have Undying, you can sacrifice it to Carrion Feeder, have it come back the first time, and after that, you can remove +1/+1 counters from the Walking Ballista and infinitely Walking Ballista. There's also other ways to do this that don't require the Walking Ballista, such as just the normal infinite sack loops, where we have tons of different creatures, such as Sabra, Queen of the Golgari, 2 colors, black-green, 2/2. Whenever you sacrifice a black creature, you may pay 2 life. If you do, each of their players sacrifice a creature. And then whenever you sacrifice a green creature, you may gain 2 life. You can wipe boards. You can ping other people. There's so many ways to make this work, and that individually, all of these cards have their own reason for being in the deck, such as Carrion Feeder being able to sacrifice and put +1/+1 counters onto Carrion Feeder. Our commander loves that. It says whenever you sacrifice another non-token permanent during your turn, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to Czar's power on up to 1 other target creature. And so you can start moving around counters, go to punchies, start slamming, and have huge blockers up while you assemble your combos.
Yeah, absolutely. The cool thing about doing a deck like this, because the worst thing with Protean Hulk decks is drawing the pieces that you want to Protean Hulk out. Like drawing Micaeus feels horrible. Oh my god, that
Mm-hmm.
sucks. But what's cool about Protean Hulk with having, and this is going back to your body snatcher stuff, is that let's say you do
Yeah.
draw a piece, you can discard the piece,
Yep.
and having it in your graveyard is great. It's super, super, super good because
Yeah.
now you can do other things, right? I like what you're doing here. I think this is really, really cool. Savra is spicy, super spicy.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
And Savra realistically would never be in bracket 5 due to the fact that it doesn't attack the meta. And that's what a big portion of the discussion about bracket 4 versus bracket 5 has been. Savra is a really awesome, card in a meta, so to speak, where there's more creatures attacking. You need more life. Often draining life is more helpful. Or making people sacrifice creatures swinging in at you because there are more aggro game plans at this bracket level, so it's more relevant.
yeah, you know the one thing that I love about bracket 4 is
What?
the radical acceptance of Nature's Claim.
Yes, absolutely. We're running Nature's Claim. No shot I'd be without this card. I do not want to look at anyone sitting in front of me, laughing it up, having a good time with their artifacts, enchantments up. Not my thing. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, I dig this. I dig this a lot.
Yeah.
Some other notable mentions for this deck. Let's. I want to give a shout out to a card I'd never get to play, but I love it so much, and that is Abundance.
That's a
Oh
good one.
man,
That's a
man,
very good one. Yes.
yeah, Abundance, 4-mana enchantment. If you would draw a card, you may instead choose land or non-land and reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a land of the reveal a card of the chosen kind. Put that card into your hand and put all other cards revealed this way onto the bottom of your library in any order. This is another card that goes really, really well with Sylvan Library.
Yes.
just saying,
Extremely well.
just saying.
Oh yeah.
It's so good. These are man, the amount of
And the
times you're like,
Rebecca Gway art on it. Yep. So, speaking of enchantments, we're going to go to my favorite one and the all-star of this deck. Survival of the Fittest.
Yeah, for sure. 10 out of 10.
So, Survival of the Fittest reads 1 colorless and a green enchantment. Play a green, discard a creature card, search your library for a creature card, reveal that card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. I could sit here and tell you a new combo I figure out with this card, looking at the creature package we have for at least maybe 2-3 days straight. And we didn't include that many. I mean, I could have included Hazel's Brewmaster. We could have had a lot more going here. But the fact of the matter is, our commander is not an infinite mana outlet, and Survival of the Fittest often enables infinite mana combos. But in bracket 4, we're not looking for infinite mana, dump into a commander, win the game on the spot. We're looking for, I'm about to jam some crazy big creatures that I get to reanimate because I discarded them, and then I went and got a creature that reanimates. That's what we're talking about, baby. That's the sauce.
Yeah. I love that. I love when you are able to do some really like wonky things. I think survival of the fittest is so open with lines, especially in a deck like this where you're like, all right, I have the necromancy in hand, green, go discard. The Get Rock monster, necromancy, you're good to go. Run it.
Yep.
I love this.
So a big inclusion in this deck was lands. We can play lands from our graveyard. That matters a lot. And so we also included, I think it's like 9 ways to play an extra land. So we have Azusa. I'm going to flick through this. So for those of you who want to read each card, they all read, you may play 2 additional lands. Just know that as I'm flickering through this. We have Azusa, Lost But Seeking. We have Dryad of the Elysian Grove. We have Oracle of Moldiah. We have Sakura Tribe Scout. We have Walking Atlas. We have Wayward Swordtooth. We have the enchantment Exploration. And then in a different way, we also have burgeoning, which allows you to play lands on other people's turns. This does say play land cards from hand, though, so it does not sadly work from the graveyard like our other different effects do. But the overwhelming support here is the fact that many of your cards mill into graveyard. So we got Stitcher Supplier, 1 black. When Stitcher Supplier enters the battlefield or dies, mill 3 cards. We have Aftermath Analyst. When this creature enters, mill 3 cards. But the nutso thing, and the reason Aftermath Analyst is one of the most disgusting cards in this deck, one of the most things you should fear seeing this played, is for 3 colors and a green, sacrifice this creature, return all land cards from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And you can do that on someone's end step. And it's just like, boom, atom bomb.
Yeah. Yeah, I dig this. Aftermath
Pair
Analyst.
that with Lotus Cobra, 1 colorless green, 2/1 snake, landfall whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control. Add a mana of any color. Woo!
Yeah. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those cards, Aftermath Analyst, that I think gets overlooked a lot in CDH. Just because
so good.
We run like 23 lands. So it's this is a banger. This is so good in this deck. And you have like really cool, like, and you run fetches, you're on Strip Mine, right? You're on these like cards that actually will end up in the graveyard anyways, on top of what you're milling. So yeah, this is great. I love this.
And there's one specific land I think ends up in our graveyard that's kind of a big deal. Dackmore Salvage.
Yeah.
Dackmore Salvage enters the battlefield tapped. Add a black. Dredge 2. If you would draw a card, you may mill 2 cards instead. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. And ladies and gentlemen, I will not be explaining this to you. That is a part of a combo called Get Rog. And that is an entire essay in and of itself. We'd be sitting here for 20 minutes plus. But Alex, can you give us the highlight on the Get Rog Dredge combo?
Absolutely. So the Get Rog monster says whenever a land it has a lot of text. 4 lines of text. So Get Rog monster is it's a 5 mana black green legendary creature, Frog Horror. It has Death Touch. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice the Get Rog monster unless you sacrifice a land. You may play an additional land on each of your turns, and whenever one or more lands are put into your graveyard from anywhere, draw a card. It's a 6/6. A lot of text. This is a very, very good creature. It's a commander that people have been running for years. With Dackmore Salvage specifically, Dackmore Salvage has this really, really cool effect where it says whenever you draw a card, instead, if Dackmore Salvage is in your graveyard, you can dredge 2. The reason why this is really good with the Get Rog monster is because whenever you dredge, if you dredge a land, you draw a card. If you have a way to put your Dackmore Salvage into the graveyard, you can then start dredging. You can keep dredging. So one of the things that you would have to do here, because Get Rog is not a discard outlet, is you would wait until your end step, and you have if you have 8 cards in hand, you can discard Dackmore Salvage, and it will create a triggered ability. And whenever you're in a step like specifically your cleanup step where you normally wouldn't gain priority, when a triggered ability is put on the stack, you do gain priority again. So what happens is that you discard Dackmore Salvage as your 8th card. And if you do that, you then will draw a card because of the Get Rog monster. Dackmore Salvage is in your graveyard. So instead of drawing a card, you can dredge 2, putting Dackmore Salvage into your hand again. This gives you 8 cards again. You can continue doing this, looping it. And if you happen to mill a land, that land will trigger Get Rog again, allowing you to draw a card as well. When you do this, you are able to effectively sculpt your hand. Now, the tricky part here is that in the current iteration of this list, we don't have a shuffler, and this is how you would continue to sculpt your hand over and over and over. But it may not matter, because in this deck, if you're able to get enough of your deck into the graveyard, a Necromancy just wins you the game, which is also really good.
Yes, and that's what's really fun. The deck allows you to effectively sculpt a win line that you get to piece together. And I like things that there's a little bit of a skill curve, to learning, and this introduces that to the deck. And I think at bracket 4, you're ready for that. And that's why I left this in here. Originally, this being a CDH deck was left to the wayside on the backs of Thassa's and Breach being printed. As a result, Gitrog Monster became either too slow or too easy to stop due to how low CMC interaction in the meta became over time. And so it's perfectly placed within the 99 of a bracket 4 list. All that being said, I have one more fun portion to talk about with this deck.
Break it down, buddy.
Now, we've all enjoyed our extra land drops, putting things from our graveyard, being able to reanimate things. But what if we sacrificed the lands themselves? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take you back to the year 2017 when we started playing Razakats. Razaketh the Foul-Blooded, 5 colorless, black, 8/8, demon, flying, trample, pay 2 life, sacrifice another creature, search your library for a card and put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. And boys and girls, this gets to pair with life and death until end of turn. All lands you control are 1/1 creatures, and they're still lands. That means you are going to be able to sacrifice a land to Razaketh, tutor anything you want to hand, and then guess what? Your commander, what's that? Go ahead and replay that land from graveyard, as most likely due to the now 10 extra land effects in your deck. You can just play the land again if you really need it, if you didn't have more to keep sacrificing to Razaketh, and you can go off.
The fact that the lands come in as 1/1 creatures bums me out a little bit because then you can't tap them for mana. But I do love that they're just like free tutors every time. It's so silly.
Turning my swamp into a tutor's, it's aight.
It's aight.
I'll take it. It doesn't have for mana, but it's pretty good.
Jeez Louise. Yeah. This does the thing. I dig this. I think this is exactly what we want to see. For people who are looking to build this list, it is notable when you do cast Life Death, you want to tap your lands first before. So be mindful of that. But it's Razaketh. You're gonna get what you need to win the game. I love this. And oh my god, your lands that you're sacrificing. By the way, one of the lands that you can sacrifice on its own is Strip Mine, and Strip Mine in this deck is so silly. But I like what the deck is doing. I think this is exactly where you want to see a bracket 4 deck. It has good removal. It does the thing that you want it to do. It's able to search for the things you want. It has big stompy creatures. It has a way to win. And it looks like fun. It looks like a lot of fun. So I love it.
Yeah. Well, y'all, we had so much fun. Thank you so much to Wizards of the Coast allowing us to get these decks in hand and get to brew them for you. I had a blast building both of these. I think Wizards of the Coast design team has been knocking it out of the park in the last few sets. I truly believe now that we've moved on from a lot of the sets that felt like they were experimenting, they found their stride. Wizards is back on these sets. I'm very, very, very happy with what we've gotten.
Yeah. Really, really stoked about just Edge of Eternities as a whole, especially coming after Final Fantasy. It's hard to the hype train behind Final Fantasy was so big. I didn't know how the follow-up main core set would be. And this feels fantastic. We have a lot of new mechanics, a lot of new cards, fun cards that are unique, that do some really, really awesome things. And I like that. I think that going to space in a non-unset is amazing. So I'm excited about this. I'm also excited that we got to make a podcast because of the people like our patrons and how amazing they are. Holy smokes. Thank you guys for continuing to support the channel, continuing allowing us to make things like this and making sure that we can continue to brew bad decks for your pleasure.
Oh yeah, and again, if you get a deck like this, they're expensive. That is a Judge promo, guys. Credit we're looking at. You're gonna want to put that in a Dragon Shield. What are these things called?
The inner sleeves?
No, a sleeve. Thank you.
A sleeve, yeah.
You're gonna want to put them in a Dragon Shield sleeve. I cooked too hard, man. I lost it. Yeah, Dragon Shield sleeves genuinely are the only sleeves I'll use. They're such incredible quality, and the best part is the incredible customer support. They will get back to you so quick and make sure you are done right. And if you ever had any question whether or not Dragon Shield's the brand to go to, they literally make the Magicon sleeves. That's how trusted they are. It doesn't get better than that. Y'all, thank you so much for watching. I've been DefCat. This has been Hire with me as my co-host. We are incredibly thankful for all of you who watch and listen, and we hope y'all have a God-blessed week and you stay safe and healthy, and we hope that F&M is a fun time and not a salty time.
Yeah, no salt.
No salt.
All right, peace, y'all.
Bye.